as it were, the noise of thunder. I was lightning before the thunder.
Ever since I was knee-high playing with G.I. Joe, Darth Vader, and Darth must have put a hex on him for later. Him and Lex Luthor, Superman. Here comes the ring, here comes the thunder. I woke last night to the sound of thunder. Waiting on the thunder. Waiting on the thunder.
Holy Santa Claus shit. Can you imagine if we had these when we were 12?
Even better, we got them when we're 40.
Do you want to see something really cool?
Of course.
Just us. No rules.
At the end of the day, they know who's been around. Holy balls. I hope that's not him.
Rebels! What's up, guys? What is going on? I'm waiting for my buddy. Oh my, Gary says he has about 10 minutes left to watch. Okay, so we'll just hang out for a little while. Excuse me, I still got this cough. Can't shake the cough. I'm going to try to work through it, though. I really enjoyed this episode. I don't know what my colleagues are going to say, but it was interesting. I think it fell a little flat on the end, but then the very, very end was interesting as well. I'll wait just a few more minutes before anybody else gets on here. Gary, I hope you're doing well, brother. I'll leave you alone so you can watch the last 10 minutes because you got to see it. But we'll just hang out here for a little while, wait for Lack Attack, wait for Brett. I hope you guys are all doing good. I hope that they do another season as Acolyte. I don't know if they will. I hope that they do. We're just going to have to see what happens. So, let's see here. Thought I got a message from Lack just a minute ago. Could be wrong. Okay. Lack's will be a couple minutes late as well. Oh, there's Lack right now. There's that good-looking fella. What's up, brother?
What's happening, young man?
How are you doing, man?
I'm doing better than Soul.
You're doing better than Saul. Chris says, I have so much hate, let me in. Chris, if you really want in, man, let me know. But, man, so this was the final episode.
Yeah. Hell of a way to end it, huh?
Right. And there was parts I really, really enjoyed. And then there's a couple lame parts, man, that I try not to hate on it because I do like this. I
think we've done very well not hating on it regardless.
Yeah, but there was a couple things that I need to rant. Chris is upset. So let me see here. Hold on a sec. Let me see here. But yeah,
the lightsaber fights are pretty awesome.
yeah. Even the May and Osha fight wasn't bad.
I didn't like that when there was like a mirrored image of each other. I didn't care for that.
Well, but that's what it was, right? Because they were.
Yeah. I just thought it was.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like the.
Maybe that's the way I took it. You know what I mean? Because it was like they're the same.
Right, and I get that's what they were going for. I just thought it came off not looking very cool.
Yeah.
But I understand what they were.
Yep.
Shooting for. I just. It didn't tickle my fancy. But the Saul Stranger Danger fight was pretty good. Much like,
oh my gosh,
definitely. Much like all the lightsaber fights we've seen. Pretty good.
Yeah, definitely.
And then I guess the tube. Oh, my only real complaint is. I think it's my only real complaint. It made my jaw drop. But so when May was getting away from Saul and she said, "Hang on, Pip."
Yeah.
Like, why did she care?
Why would she even care?
Give a shit about Pip all?
Yeah. Why would May even care? But you know what?
I thought that was strange.
When they went through that ring and they were, that was a cool little scene.
Oh yeah, that scene was very
that looked
cool.
Great.
And we've never seen, I guess the equivalent of that is maybe, I mean, I guess Han and the Falcon trying to get away from
What's
Vader.
up, Brandon?
What's up, Brandon? And then obviously maybe Obi-Wan and Jango, you know, but that was pretty cool.
That was
the whole, and it looked cool. And it seemed like, you know, the debris had its own gravity, you know, and then Saul's ship kind of like crashed into it, like sideways.
Yeah.
That was a very cool looking. That whole chase was really cool looking. I thought May's helmet didn't fit her very well; it looked a little goofy, you know.
Yeah,
I mean,
it did look a little.
If we're here to critique things, then you know, if your costume doesn't fit, and then when she said, "Hang on, Pip," I didn't like. I totally that shut down. Like I stopped, you know.
Cringe moment.
I was like, why the fuck does she care about? Oh, I didn't mean to cuss, but I was like, why does she?
Yeah.
About Pip all of a sudden.
Yeah.
That come from? But that was the only thing that I, you know.
And I kind of like where May flew off and she was like, "See you in hell, Jedi." I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
I kind of like that. There's some good one. There was some good. Yeah. There were some good one-liners in there.
I missed that.
She said that when she got in the escape pod thing.
She said
Soul tried to stop her. I was like, "Ooh!" I was like, "Okay."
So there is a hell and 5-click radius.
Well, like Han has said that before too. He's like, "Then I'll see you in hell." Remember, he's on the Tauntaun.
Yeah, he did say that.
Yeah, and then I also like
that was so much cooler though.
I also like when the stranger guy or whatever told Soul that they weren't there for him.
Yeah,
or they weren't there for. They were there for Soul. I was like, "Oh shit!" Like,
I tell you what, though, we called the green chick being the master of that guy, didn't we?
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
What's up, Mr. 1000's Ghost? How are you?
What up, boys?
How you doing, buddy?
Just my cholesterol.
Just done. This is it. Star Wars is over for me. I will not watch anymore.
Really?
Oh, no.
This was utter crap. I have tried episode after episode to not hate this, and this was the biggest pile of shit ever. I will watch every episode of Droids over this crap.
And Droids is
100% predictable. This is stuff me and Super John and Rick talked about weeks ago. We were like, well, that's Darth Plagueis. Darth Plagueis is going to be his master. He's not going to die. She's going to kill Saul. They're going to blame it on Saul. And Yoda will end up in the last scene. We did this weeks ago. What was the point of watching this crap? What was the point of them being a dyad if they're not going to do anything with it?
Right. I don't know why they wouldn't.
I get your point that they're supposed to be mirror images of themselves, but neither of them even landed one punch.
Yeah,
one kick, nothing.
I don't know why they wouldn't choose to stay together. I don't know why they decided.
So that was one of the things I had a complaint with. It was like, why? You know, and then why did she want to become a Sith? I mean, I thought it was kind of silly too. Like,
I
she's
think
like,
that was
I'll trade with you.
Was that supposed to be kind of an accident? Like
none of the twins' motivations make any sense at all. Remember back in episode 4 when May was like, I want to go back. I'm going to turn myself in and face justice and all that.
Right. Yeah.
Next episode, she's not. And then Osha wants to be mean. And then she sees magical Sith dick and she's on the dark side now. They not only have cookies, but you know, it's like, what?
Yeah. I did think that the very end when she did kill Saul, though we did predict it, it seemed like it was almost like an accident. Her anger got the best of her, and I thought that's what the crystal was supposed to be showing us, you know, but she seemed a little.
I don't think so. She knew exactly what she was doing.
Did she?
And May let it happen.
Yeah, that's what I was going to
say. May stop. You know, you're going too far.
Into saying that, or talk Saul into saying that. I was like,
I would have thought May would have got a little jealous because she finally killed a Jedi without a weapon.
No, because as we said, in the end, May was going to be on the good side, and she was. And then, you know, they do this whole, you know, throw a Harry Potter memory charm on her.
Oh, we got an echo, guys.
It's like, okay, so these are another new power that apparently they have had.
You got an echo there, whoever.
I think it's that
Darth
middle
Brett.
finger.
I think it's that Brett guy.
Darth Brett.
Darth Brett, you got an echo.
And then they're holding hands at the end, like some sort of stupid Rilo crap. Just
feel your hatred, Chris.
It's a
let it flow through you.
Fucking Hallmark movie is what this crap is now.
It did turn into a Hallmark. I thought that those were my exact words.
What was the point of the tree? What was the point of the witches? What was the point of the twins?
Welcome to the dark side.
What was the point? I knew they weren't going to close anything up because there wasn't enough time.
Mm-hmm.
This episode was only 40 minutes.
What the hell just happened? Gary said. Well,
we got hoodwinked into thinking there's going to be a second season, and when there isn't, they're going to have to write books to fill this in.
They committed a sin invoking Yoda at the end there too.
They did, very much so. Super John will be pissed because he was adamant that they couldn't show Yoda. And we were like, they're going to show Yoda because everybody knows Yoda's alive. And if she's told the council this, then Yoda knows.
Right.
And I just, we still don't know that twerk's name. You know.
I guess we don't know what she's going to tell Yoda, but we assume it's going to be, hey, my pupil has turned to the dark side.
Yeah, and hopefully Yoda will be like, bullshit this is. You know. And just won't let it go away. And it's like,
Hey, Blue.
Hey, what's up, Blue? I would imagine our Yoda will, but this new
Good night, Rex.
This new Yoda may not. Who knows?
Well, even this new Yoda is already in canon.
Who was in the cave in the shadows?
Plagueis.
It was Plagueis. And I tried to screenshot it. I don't know what's up with Disney. I don't know what's up with Disney, but I tried
They won't
get
let
it on my
you.
phone, right? So I could screenshot it.
Won't let you.
Every time I screenshot it, it was black.
Yep. Won't let you.
They've got something on there where I can't do it. And I'm like, son of a
You have
bitch.
to record it somehow. and then do
Okay,
it.
that's a good thing. I don't want that because every single Twitter and every single TikTok is going to be showing Darth Plagueis, who we already knew was in the show.
Yeah.
It's not like he wasn't going to be there. I know Rick and his weird theories of that Darth, whatever his name is, had some sort of shape-shifting powers and was going to turn into Darth Plagueis at the end. Like, no, that's not how that works.
How did when at the very beginning when Osha still had the helmet on and his eyes went black, was she doing that?
Her eyes went gold. Did you see her eyes go gold?
Yeah, but his eyes went black. What was that on? I didn't.
When she was trying to take it off, her eyes were
That's
gold.
what they did to Torben.
Yeah.
So was she?
Because I think she was seeing what he sees when he has the helmet on. When he has the helmet on, it blocks all senses except you're used to the Force.
Right.
And so you're able. It's almost like in Red Dead Redemption when you pull the trigger and you run a zoom in and stuff. That's what that seems to be like. And that gopher, what was his point? Was he good? Was he bad?
In a row.
Yeah, why was he?
Yeah, why did he sabotage the ship?
Yeah, he attacked May, tried to eat her leg, and then not even half a day later, he's like, "Oh well, now I'm just going to pull these wires," and so you can't. Whatever, if he was going to tractor beam her, he wasn't going to shoot her.
That was definitely not the way that they've told us that the lightsabers turn red either.
Well, no, that's exactly how they bleed.
Yeah, you can
they bleed red.
From hatred.
That's how it absorbs your anger and your hate.
Yeah. But she wasn't angry.
She was
just standing there, very calmly choking out Saul, which was stupid.
No, I think.
And then
that's because she's a bad actress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Crystal did better acting than she did.
And then they let him take the fall.
And she corrupted the Crystal. She was supposed to.
And I think what you're going to see now is this is going to piss tons of the High Republic people off.
Oh yeah,
because that's not how that character is written in the books. In the books, she's a good person, and she's not this backstabbing, conniving, whatever that she is in this. They're going to be mad because there's still a couple books left to bring us up to where the Acolyte is. So they're going to have to explain how she goes from being this good character to now she's on the council and now she's, I don't know, Nixon. I don't know who she's supposed to be.
Yeah. Have you read all the books that are available so far?
No, but I do know somebody who did, and I had them give me a rundown. And they're actually, the plots are okay, but he says that the interaction is just so weird because of how the Jedi act in that age. That it seems like this event changes how Jedi work in the future.
Ghoster.
You know,
Good to see you, Ghoster.
And then they've got a rock who drives the ship.
Very strange.
Yeah.
At least we got one little lightsaber fight that looked pretty cool.
That was a nice lightsaber fight with Soul.
It was all right. It was better than the kung fu fighting.
Yeah, it's better than kung fu fighting, but it's like, you know, and you don't think somebody by tomorrow is going to have a little clip going with kung fu fighting in the background.
Oh yeah.
I like the fall. I like where Soul fell and then like he got back up. That shit was tight.
Remember remember early on when we were talking too, I said when May fell, she probably ran out some kind of storm chute or something.
And
I said they're one being, which Saul kept telling her, you're not even twins, you're the same being. I kept saying that, but they never resolved that other than him doing the mind wipe while they hugged.
I didn't like the mind wipe thing. I thought it was kind of lame.
Stupid.
Yeah, that's
he didn't even use his wand. He was like, wait,
yeah.
He could have had like a big fight or something, big emotional moment, and had them actually just turn back into one being.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping.
That's what I was waiting for. I was waiting for the tree to react to them being together again.
Exactly.
And having the possibility of them being split. But again, then there was only like 3 minutes left in the show. And I was like, oh, well, never mind.
The flashbacks showing the same episode over and over, man. God, they missed some good opportunities.
Yeah.
What is the catalyst for them having to go investigate the Jedi? Is it just because this guy, and was he on 24?
I don't think so.
He
looks familiar though.
That he played the Martian Manhunter on Smallville.
Yes, he did. Thank you. It just bugged me the whole time. I'm like, damn, I know this guy, but he's not the president for 24. But
he's a good actor. I like him.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
He was another guest star, just wasted.
Yeah,
but at least he knew how to act.
Yeah.
And so, you know, when they're in whatever, you know, little Senate group, you know, House Committee on the Jedi, what happened? Are they mad? Is he mad that they waste too much money, that they think he has too much power, that they shouldn't be? Because at this point, they're not police force.
Right.
They're just Jedi.
Yeah.
You know, they go around and they're kind of like Anakin in episode 2, and he's like, Jedi business. Being a jackass. That's kind of how they are, but not, you know, to the extreme of, you know, I don't know. None of the storylines got closed at all.
No.
Yeah, it seems like the only thing they're really policing is the Force. Because
it's so she figured,
right? There's no.
Yeah.
They're not. In the
She figured she could close that political loophole by letting Saul take the fall for everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and as far as they're concerned, because he's like, they're not here for me. Of course they're not here for you. They don't even know you exist.
That didn't do anything to explain anything about the planet they were on.
She sure knew he existed when she got off the boat. And
yeah, because as we knew, because we saw that 2.5 second lightsaber whip, that she whipped him. Whipped him good. Dun, 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 dun. Whipped him good.
Not good
He
enough.
said a former student of mine.
Yeah. Until he turned evil. Okay, Obi-Wan.
Oh,
you know,
man.
Tell us why did you let him go? If he turned evil, kill him. Stop letting evil people just wander away and do whatever.
And why? And now, so all of this makes Yoda look like an idiot.
It depends on how that rest of that conversation went. If
he would know she's lying,
because in the books they actually work together a lot, so he would trust her. It's almost like Obi-Wan coming in saying,
"Yeah,
you know, whatever."
Yeah.
What's up, Rolando?
So it depends on how that conversation goes. But yeah, it could change how we see Yoda.
All we saw was
because
the
it
back of
didn't
his head.
change. What's his name? Conehead. because he didn't know about the dark.
Yeah, he never saw anything.
Right.
So all he knew was there was an incident. She was taking care of it, and he wandered away.
Yeah, he don't want to know. He don't want to know.
I don't want to know.
Don't drag me into that shit, he said. Yeah,
So
but
I
it
missed the
definitely will
beginning.
depend on the conversation that she's going to have with Yoda. Is she going to go in there and say, hey, look, Saul turned out to be a real bad guy.
Yeah.
And, that's the only thing that could save Yoda. But like Brett said, isn't he going to know that
he was in charge of teaching younglings? If he was this evil and had this in him, you would have felt it in him.
Right.
And you wouldn't have let him, badger kids who don't have eyelids to close their eyes.
What'd you think, Gary? And welcome.
Hi.
Welcome,
I'm not as versed into all the lore like you guys. So the crystals don't determine the color of the lightsaber? I thought they did.
Yes, they can. Yeah.
Okay.
But you can bleed the crystal if you. It happens in a much longer period of time.
So they were trying to signify her turning to the dark side.
If you really do stuff like, I don't know, kill a whole bunch of younglings and then wander around murdering people, it'll happen relatively quickly.
Average Tuesday. Yeah.
An average Tuesday for Anakin. But for people who have, that's why Ahsoka's sabers change color too.
Okay.
And why they say that Rey's is gold or yellow, because it kind of sees her neutrality in the whole thing.
Right. And was anybody else? I wanted to cue up the Caddyshack theme every time that damn little gopher guy went, holy shit. Like, it was
He
no
was
repercussions
useless.
for the sabotage.
All right.
Yeah, that's all I was thinking the whole time. Like, that little bastard running around. Like, what's his point? What was his deal? Like you said, Chris, was he good? Was he bad?
He was useless, man.
Was it? Yeah, he was just annoying. Is what he was. He's our new Jar Jar, I guess. I don't know. I don't know.
And I didn't understand him. He was, exactly. He's just
Was that Plagueis in the shadows up looking down?
Yeah.
We're pretty sure that
when
was
he moves slightly out of the shadows, you can see that he's a Hmong.
Okay.
So you can see his face.
Right.
And it's
But
definitely
he is looking pretty rough. There's
something
only
cool at least, but they could have showed him a little more prominently, maybe, and given us more.
Yeah, he didn't.
Nothing
look
got
too
resolved,
good.
really. I don't think. Really, did it? I mean,
because what would we have in episode 1 of season 2? We would have to have him be introduced,
right,
as Smiley's master.
Yeah,
and he's a big proponent of the rule of 2.
Right.
So, is he going to kill Smiley? Kill Osha? By the end of season 3, what would be season 3, you would have to introduce Palpatine.
Right.
Because of how close you would then be to him being a senator and the prequels.
Wasn't enough show. I mean, 8 episodes. Most of them were 33 minutes. 2 of them were the same. Pretty much 3 and 5 or whatever, just from different perspectives. They just need more. Is there going to be a season 2? Is it a given? Do we know that for a fact?
No, because they would have already told us.
I would think so, right? So that's it.
Unless they're going to tell us next month. We've got 3 weeks until D23.
Yeah.
There was
Yeah, I don't think they'll confirm anything for a couple of weeks because there was all the rumors about the girl getting fired and all that. They won't tell us anything for a while, probably.
She's been moved off 2 projects that were already in pre-production.
Yeah.
So,
do you guys think if there's any chance that they have a second season? Is there a slim chance?
I could see maybe. I could see maybe Kamir being used in something else. Maybe.
Do you think there might be a slim chance that we might see Yoda and Plagueis fight?
No,
because I don't think that ever happened. I'd have to go back and reread
again, these
Plagueis novel.
2 chances.
These budgets could probably write that, but
yeah, because the Plagueis novel is of course EU now, so it's not canon.
Yeah,
but they do take stuff from that book, even his existence and his.
I'm
look.
sure they'll take some stuff out of that book.
From the things that us old heads know and believe to be true, we would imagine that no, there's no way Yoda and Plagueis are going to see each other. But we're not dealing.
There haven't been a cis in 1,000 years.
Right, but we're not dealing with,
rational writers
or fans like ourselves, right?
Yeah.
that would reveal the Sith to be alive.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Right, of course, but
And then you would hope that if Yoda knew that the Sith were back, that he would do something about it. That he would say, okay, this is something we've got to figure out. You know, why aren't we feeling this in the Force? How are they hiding themselves in the Force? And, you know,
well, then he
which
should be
is
able to
interesting because she could feel
Khmer,
him.
right?
Yeah, she could feel Khmer.
I mean, Yoda. You think Yoda would be able to feel
he had
Khmer?
he had his helmet off.
He had his helmet on, and when you have the helmet on, it supposedly blocks
It's
the
supposed
Force.
to, and he had it off when she first got off the ship.
Yeah.
So she felt him.
Okay.
But you know, Plagueis doesn't have a helmet. Never has. You know, he's just.
But I thought the hand holding at the end was very touching.
Oh yeah.
I cried.
Jesus.
Apparently, they have to share lightsabers
It was
now.
the look out into the sunset that made me
Nobody
remember Rogue
Nobody
One.
makes them anymore. They just steal them from each other.
At least Rogue One, it made sense and it was meaningful.
Yeah, the best thing about it, they both died in a fiery ball, which I wish these two would have.
Right.
But we heard that the director and everybody, they were shooting for season 2. So
I think she was contracted for 2 when they hired her.
Oh yeah.
She said that she had already mapped season 2 and 3 out, but they were hoping to get something along 4.
No.
And I don't see that happening because there's no story.
They're just trying to fill a gap before they get to the Mandalorian movie, really, at this point. So who knows? I mean, depending on how busy the schedule is next year,
they
right?
could have filled it a whole hell of a lot.
Andor season 2.
Yeah, we've Skeleton Crew is
Team,
next.
Skeleton Crew.
And Andor, and then
there's another animated, right?
Yeah, no. Both of those animated shows just disappeared. Remember that one that was supposed to be the new Droid show, where Andor had that suit on?
I thought there was another Tales thing.
Just disappeared, into the.
There's supposedly going to be another Tales of the Jedi.
Tales of the Ewok.
Quick kudos to Lack for rocking the Doc Savage Man of Bronze t-shirt, bro. That's awesome.
Thank you, brother.
They need to do action figures of Doc Savage.
He remembers Doc Savage. Jeez.
Yeah, man, I read all the
Doc
books.
Savage, Johnny Quest. Sorry, I didn't mean to sidetrack, but that's
John Carter from Mars, 1919.
Nice.
But yeah, it would be. I mean, they would have to change quite a bit to get, because even if we go into a season 2, what is the story? Because now is May going to remember? Or are they going to break her?
Yoda's.
We need you to help find this person. Who? I don't know who that is. I don't even know who my sister is. I have no idea who these people are.
This is the only way to go. Not that I agree with that. But
When she came through the door and said, "Master, we have to talk," and he was probably going to turn around and say, "No, we have to talk. Your skin is green for a reason. Your mother, I know."
But then they would have had to pay Frank some money to come in and say that one.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
It was a total Force Awakens move with Luke Skywalker.
Oh, yeah.
To have him in there at the end. That was so stupid, man. I was so
the door open, I was like, "Here's Yoda."
Here it is.
Every episode, there's something I
down,
could throw my hat
quick.
at, and that was one of them.
When they had the lightsaber fight, when they were coming through the little hallway, did y'all not have
like Empire?
Yeah, did you not have like Dagobah in the cave feelings?
I could also hear the episode 1.
I can see that.
I also heard the sound effects from episode 1 a little bit when Qui-Gon's cutting the metal.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
it sounded a little bit like that too, mixed in there.
I don't see how they could do a season 2 without Soul, man. Soul was my favorite character.
Soul was the soul of the show.
He was the soul.
He was. I agree, 100%.
I learned to speak English.
Because now does the next season revolve around the green chick and her continued machinations with the Jedi Council? Does Jedi Padawan Weasley have something to do? I mean, he's talking about a limp wrist.
Oh yeah, what's his name? Lisp with the buck teeth. Gosh darn!
Just like, geez, go have a cup of tea, dude.
Terrible.
Are we preparing for a confrontation? No, a resolution. I'm going to bury these fools.
Why did you let him wait in the
I mean, they did cringe
center.
moment after cringe moment after the fight. The way she finished him off, then the handhold, then the Yoda. It was like one after the other.
Yeah,
Bam, bam, bam.
that was
Okay, I'll
like
never
a
watch this
bam.
again.
Well, and what did she think was going to happen? Did she really? I mean, in her heart, did she really think Saul was bad? No, because of what she said at the end. So she takes.
She didn't even try to see it the other way. It was so
10
stupid.
Jedi with her to what? I mean, she assumes Saul killed those guys because she doesn't know about the Darth guy. So she takes 10 Jedi to kill Saul. And then as soon as she's on the planet, she's like, what? Oh, man.
I don't think she ever thought Saul did it, because when they went to the Kelnaka's planet and saw all the death and destruction there, she said there's something to tip the scales. And I think she never thought it was Saul, but she was pretty sure that if she could blame it on somebody that
How
was
come
dead,
they brought that? They couldn't figure that out about the virgins. They had to bring all their equipment with them. But yet, as soon as she touched the planet's surface, she knew it was Khmer. She said, "You," and she's
because
not
he
even
didn't
here.
have his because he didn't have his
helmet on.
No, but I'm just saying the planet itself. When they found Brendock, and they brought the metal detector and everything.
Because that's not how the Force works.
That's not what they were looking for. They were trying to figure it out. They were trying to figure it out.
Stuff like that.
They didn't know the virgins was a person.
I sense the great virgins in the Force.
Yeah,
because they couldn't figure out how this planet that had been basically just annihilated suddenly had all this life on it. No animals, mind you, because we can't afford CG.
Which still doesn't make sense why Torben would have just drank the poison. All he was doing was testing
the only
broccoli.
thing I can think is that in the end he felt responsible for all those witches' deaths somehow.
Yeah,
but
he's the
even
one that
that's
took
a
off.
weak argument.
They got us all drinking.
I think the mother, what was her name, Coral with the horns. I think she did it.
Well, we really never saw her body again.
No, she left.
So is she gone? I mean,
I think she pulled the plug on all the witches when she left.
Well, the singing that was in this episode was like Saul acted like he heard the singing. Was that supposed to be real singing, or was that?
No, that's a memory.
That's a memory.
That was a high thread count.
What are those? The two games with Cal Kestis in them.
Jedi Fallen Order and
Fallen Order and stuff. That's a Jedi power they introduced where they can feel like shock waves in the Force, and so they kind of can feel what happened, long ago. Now, some of that for Saul was memory. For her, she was feeling the disturbances and she was hearing the singing and stuff.
Well, when Saul heard the "No, Mama, no," I knew that he was remembering. But for some reason, the singing, and it's obviously my misperception of it, but the singing came off as like something that was more real, and not that.
Well, that brought me back to were the witches even dead? Where were their bodies?
Yeah,
they
no
weren't
bones.
there.
No witch bones.
So then because I thought the same thing until he started, like, you could see him concentrating. I was like, they're still alive. And they're going to take over either May or Osha and kill Saul that way. And then I was like, oh, well, never mind.
They weren't that smart.
Well, they certainly fooled us into watching 8 episodes, didn't they?
They did. We all drank the same Kool-Aid.
Yes, we did.
And again, if they had been, this whole series was so badly edited, and the pacing was so weird, and having to see the same thing 3 times.
Yeah,
I understand the different points of view thing, but we do that in normal films by just cutting to somebody else watching it.
Right.
We don't need to see literally Saul watching the same thing we just saw, and then turn around and watch Horn Lady, and then watch Osha.
The power slider was going all over the place with all these characters.
Yeah.
Khmer was so powerful when he first showed up, and then he was just kind of weak at the end. Like, what, did he use it all up?
That was a cool 360 force push that Saul did.
Yeah.
That was pretty
and
cool.
then Khmer's holding hands with her at the end, like they're a couple now, because we know she looked at it.
Yeah.
We saw her look at it.
the introduction of flashbacks and slow motion in Star Wars is just horrible. Those were never a thing. This never have been a thing.
This was the most egregious flashback type series I've ever seen. It was 7 episodes of the same episode cut different ways.
I mean, I wanted, you know what I wanted? I wanted a Dallas ending. I wanted Saul or Boba Fett or somebody to wake up in a Bacta tank and being like, "Ah!"
Somebody else said it would be a dream.
What a terrible dream! Yeah.
New heart.
I was messaging Ed in the back. I got to take off. My wife's mother's coming in to see us.
Hey, Brett, do me a quick favor.
What's up?
Do me a quick favor. So this was the 8th episode. We've done this 8 times, 8 weeks in a row. Popcorn tubs. How many?
11.
We're number 1.
Chris will like this. Chris will like this. I got the Haunted Mansion ornaments.
Oh, nice.
Oh, cool.
Very cool.
I made a video of it the other day.
Excellent.
I give it a 3 out of 5 popcorn buckets
overall
for the episode.
Oh, the episode. Okay.
Because I did like the lightsaber play.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah, that's cool.
I give it a 5 overall for the whole series.
For the whole season? That's not too bad, man. That's not terrible.
Yeah, I mean, it's average. I can't say it was. There was a couple unwatchable things, but there was just, for us that are like deep fans, we're going to find all these things to pick apart. So I was trying not to do that too much, but they were making it too easy.
They were teeing them up.
Yeah. I understand.
So, but trying to just sit back and just watch it for what it is, it's still kind of middle of the road for me. Because like I said last week, even Obi-Wan had a lot of pitfalls in the storytelling and stuff, but there were some amazing moments in that show too, with Vader's strength and Obi-Wan's
I think the problem with
Obi-Wan
Obi-Wan
series
stretch on the sister.
Yeah.
I think it's
and it's not a I'm not going to say it's a Disney problem, because Lucasfilm as a company itself too, like they get the mandates put on them, but then they got to do the work. And I don't know who would still be there from the original company or whatever, but it's like they got this weird habit of like they're doing this weird thing where they're like bringing in writers with no history, and then they're doing these things on these episodes where they're bringing in like a whole group of directors, like, okay, you get to do episode 2, show us what you got. It's like, I mean, don't you think you might want to?
It worked so well on The Mandalorian.
It did. Like Bryce Dallas Howard's episode.
Good directors who were doing The Mandalorian.
Jon Favreau's episodes, Bryce Dallas's episodes, the other guy's episodes. I can never remember his name. But like they keep trying to do that all the time, and it's like if it was Leslie Headland's baby, then just let her do it. I don't understand, Like I kind of understand from hearing her interviews, like what she was trying to do with the storytelling because of where she falls in the fandom. But she spread it all over, like they spread it all over the place, and it was just hard to keep track of.
Well, and like she said, she's never been to film school, so you can't just
that's
put
okay.
somebody in charge
You can hire some good editors to fix that.
Yeah, you can't have her direct if she doesn't know how the camera works.
They could hire some good editors to fix some of that, but like the editors, I don't know. Some of the cinematography was all over the place.
Orson Welles said that's why Citizen Kane was so good, because he didn't know how to do it. So,
well, he was told he couldn't do certain things, and he was like, "Why not?"
Yeah.
Or George, George always had the cinematographers in England fighting him constantly about shots, and
Yeah. Well, he had a vision, and he needed other people to kind of help him shape it up. And then Marcia came in and made it what it was at the end. But they didn't do that this time. I don't know.
It thinks a community sometimes, don't
it? So now that it's done, is anybody planning on just watching them all in succession now, just to see if it works out better? Because I don't know that it will.
No.
I might wait, because somebody will do exactly what they did with Obi-Wan.
Cut it to a movie.
Cut it into about a 2.5 hour movie.
Yeah.
And I've watched that Obi-Wan, and I really liked it.
Yeah.
It made the sister more evil You mean you felt threatened by her instead of just this crying woman.
I thought her character had promise, but didn't come through on the screen too much.
No.
But I don't know.
Strange times we live in.
Yeah, but I got to bail on you guys. I apologize.
Good to see you.
Have a nice evening, my
I'm
friend.
going to be right behind you. I got to get up in about 6 hours.
Thanks for hanging out with us for 8 episodes.
Thank you for having me, buddy.
Anytime, brother. Anytime.
Friday, I'm going to be starting I think I'm going to take 10 Fridays and eliminate, have a big group of people and eliminate and get 10 final players. And I'm going to do this huge giveaway in 10 weeks.
Mr. B.
Hey, Mr. B.
It's going to blow you away.
Sounds awesome.
Nice.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
Yeah. So if you don't want to come for me, come for the giveaway.
Hey, Inigo, I hope we win.
Maybe Rick and Vern will show up again and get eliminated right off the bat. But yeah, I mean,
being an underdog.
If anything, the show got us all talking, so I guess
Absolutely.
that's good.
Well, thank you, Brett. I appreciate you.
I'll see you guys. I'll keep listening, see what you thought of it.
Cool.
I'll see you later.
See you, buddy.
All right, bye.
Oh,
Black.
Yes, sir.
You've been with me through 8 of these episodes.
Through thick and thin, young man.
Give me a grading, man. Give me a grading on this episode and the whole series.
This episode, every grading I do after the show changes by the next day because it takes a little time.
After you've thought and reflected on it, yeah.
Yeah. The battle was good. I thought seeing Plagueis was kind of cool.
Yeah.
I definitely would rank this maybe in the 6, 8, maybe, as far as episode by itself.
All right.
Because there was a couple moments where I went, oh, cool.
Yeah.
And but overall, this has got to be in the 3s, 2, 8.
The overall season.
Overall, yeah.
I mean, I don't see any reason to rewatch it. That's kind of how I think back of other shows, and if I was to ever do any rewatching of this, I would just be fast forwarding it to the
fight scenes
and trying to pause it on Plagueis to get a better look at him, and that's pretty much it. So not to give it a 0 just so I don't sound like a dick, but I guess 2.8 overall for the whole show, because there was some fairly decent lightsaber fights that I enjoyed and perked me up a little bit,
Yeah.
So,
overall, I enjoyed it. I mean, it might not have been the best, but
beats a sharp stick in the eye.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Beats a sharp stick in the eye.
Beats a sharp stick in the eye, don't it? So, and as Star Wars fans, I think we're gonna watch every thing that comes along. We may not watch it twice. Yeah.
I should have asked Brett. I believe I know his answer though. But who's your favorite character out of that whole series?
My favorite character?
Yes, sir.
Oh, Fat Lobot.
we only got like 3 seconds of him.
Fat Lobot is the coolest mofo in that whole show.
All right. Well, who is your favorite main character that we've seen every day?
Oh, I guess it would probably be a tie between Indara and Soul, I guess.
Yeah.
I think we're in the same boat because I liked Indara a lot too.
Yeah, it's hard not to like those two. I mean, they're written to. Indara had a couple weird, like when they had the flashback in the second same episode. There was a couple things her character said and did that was out of her. To me, what I thought was out of her character, but that's.
I agree.
This is not written by Scorsese and directed by Spielberg, so there's going to be some discrepancies,
Right.
But Indara was cool. I'd hang out at the bar and have some nog with her and shit,
She was cool.
And but yeah, Fat Lobot for the win though.
Nice.
Fat Lobot is definitely the coolest character in the show.
Guys, I gotta dip out too. I gotta take some meds and get my ass into bed. But I'm up at 5, so.
Well, let me can I throw you on for 2 seconds, Gary?
Just
real
2.
Quick? Just 2. Score? score for the season?
Overall, it was just a 6 out of 10.
Okay.
Overall, I mean, I was entertained by some of it, and some of it frustrated the hell out of me. And I'm not even, like I said, as versed as a couple of you guys into the real deep lore stuff, but I just like Star Wars. So yeah, I'll give it a 6. That episode today's probably a 7.5. I did like the lightsaber stuff was cool. I just got frustrated with the gopher and a couple of things. So overall, yeah, there you go.
Favorite character?
Saul.
Oh yeah,
hands down for me. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I respected the fact that the guy didn't speak a word of English and he learned English for the part. And
he did a great job. I was really impressed by him. Yeah,
so that was cool, and he did a good job. So, didn't like how they wrote him out of the show, and I don't know if I'll watch it again. That's what I base a lot of stuff on rewatchability, and I don't know if I'd go back and give 8 episodes another go around. I don't
agree.
So.
Maybe just the fight scenes. Fight scenes are pretty great.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, with those I can find those on YouTube probably right now if I wanted to.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
All right, guys, I'm going to dip out. I'll talk to you everybody.
Thank you,
young man.
Back on this weekend, Ed. I'll see you. Chris, good to see you, bud.
See ya.
Ciao.
Thanks, Gary.
Sure.
What up? Here we go. Chris. Welcome, brother. Oh, my goodness. You know what? My, hold on. Somehow she heard Siri, and I don't know how that happened. And then I've got one of my boss's name is Chris. I said, Chris. I said, call him Chris. I'm like, no.
Chris.
Anyway, after that interruption, we've always got somebody listening to us. That's the thing right there, these damn phones.
Yeah.
But give me a rundown. Like, what do you think of the whole series? Like a 1 through 10 of popcorn tubs or whatever you want to say?
I think without episode 5, this would have been the most disastrous thing Star Wars has ever done.
Okay.
Even beyond the holiday special.
Oh my.
I with episode 5 in there, because it was a lot of really good. Those guys worked so hard. If you watched behind the scenes stuff of how they were, doing all the sword play and stuff.
Yeah.
I think with that overall, a 4.
Wow.
For the whole series. This episode was just nonsense with one good fight in it. So maybe a 3.
Okay. All right.
Rick's here now. So, Rick, the stuff we talked about after episodes 1 and 2 all pretty much came true. We knew who the Dark Lord was going to be. It was Quirrell. We knew who his boss was probably going to be. We knew that Osha and May would flip sides. I assumed they were a dyad. I didn't know that they were somehow split apart into 2 beings. Can the Force do that, and how did it do it?
I think that's what the question is. Like, how did they do this in the first place?
Well, and nobody knows it.
Yeah.
Because
unless they're trying
the
to
equipment was destroyed, basically. So unless they find what's his name's pad that had the information on it, they won't know that they're the same person.
Mm-hmm.
So that mystery still moves forward about how they came about, which unfortunately could give us another flashback to the witches.
Yeah.
But it also is, not surprising that the Dathomir witches are known. I mean, these are dark side users, and the Jedi know about them and don't do anything about it. And then Palpatine just slides right in and, uses something they're ignoring against them.
Mm-hmm.
But Saul was the best character on the show, apart from that one gonk droid at the very beginning of episode 1.
Yeah, there you go.
And before they ruined her character, I liked Osha. I liked Osha as when she was her tech person, when she was her tech self. And she had her own thing. And, but then by halfway through the series, I didn't like almost anybody. Because they kept flipping to what they were going to be. Nothing in Osha's past, except finding out that Saul killed her mom, showed us that she was going to turn to the dark side. Except that's what the story called for, because they're twins or whatever. And Star Wars is poetry. And twins have to, be one light and one dark.
Yeah. Well, I kind of felt like with the whole soul thing, like we really didn't know for sure about him. Kind of like he was a mystery, because we didn't really know what he did. So I kind of felt like that was kind of like an open character where we couldn't decide.
Didn't they change Osha's character in that last episode? Because they go on and on about how they were never going to let you be a Jedi. They were never going to let you train. But I thought we were told in episode 1 that she did train with the Jedi and then left.
Yeah, she left on her own accord.
She even said that, didn't she? Didn't she even say
Yeah.
that to the stranger?
Yeah.
Something about.
So I don't understand if they didn't notice, or if who was lying, or if she was lying to him. Because
There's a lot of double
clearly she had some sort of training. She just didn't learn how to push from the witches, and that's it.
Yeah,
she never
there
could
was some
block.
double stepping in some of the. I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know.
Yeah, strange.
Very.
Rick, if you're still on here,
Pip Droid.
If you're still on here, Left Coast Graphics, Rick, I sent the StreamYard to your Instagram if you want to hop on for a minute. Just being this is the last one, I'll try to get everybody on who wants to talk about this for a minute before we're done. But
it was crazy.
It was definitely.
Why did you have to keep telling us we're going to Coruscant? We know what it looks like. 4 episodes later, we're still being told Coruscant. No kidding.
I want to know about
the interior
with
Jedi
the stomach
temple.
issues. And no, it's my head. It's my head that bothers me when I travel. It's like, why do we care? What is that?
Well, that's in the books. When she travels through hyperspace, her connection to the Force, she sees visions. And some of these visions are very intense for her. Sometimes she can see the past and sometimes it's the future, but it's always very disconcerting because she doesn't, when they happen, she doesn't know where she is. And it takes her a minute to refocus herself back into where she is.
Well, why didn't they do that? Because that would have made her a lot more interesting because she's lame.
She could have been used for exposition during her flights to the planet, which they do in like 4 seconds now. You notice how in Disney Star Wars distance doesn't mean anything anymore?
Yeah.
They just pop from Coruscant to the outer rim in 5 minutes. And
those Jedi made a 5-click radius pretty quick too.
Yeah.
They're just
they've done that stuff in Clone Wars and all that stuff. That's been,
No, but
I have no problem when they use language that we use.
I just mean the time it took them to get that distance.
Well, yeah. Well, and I don't know. It just every time I think about that gopher, it pisses me off more.
I don't know why they would make a character like that in the first place. He looks stupid.
What was the point of him?
Yeah.
Because supposedly he could track the twins down. Well,
she's even like
be able to feel the twins in the Force.
Smell this, little guy.
Yeah, smell this little guy, and they didn't even let him talk.
When you use actual tracking animals too, when you have something for them to sniff, you don't take it with you.
Yeah, throws the scent off. They're just going to circle back and be like, "There it is.
There it is. It's in your hand.
That way."
That's not.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that, Lack. You're right.
Yeah, that's the first.
That'll make any sense.
I went, well, nobody's obviously ever hunted with dogs anywhere in the show.
And one of the things Rick will talk about, I'm sure, is the total lack of droids in this show. You have a Gonk droid at the beginning of this show, and then you have her little Pip droid tricorder thing.
Yeah, you're right.
Where are the astromechs that can see people? They're like, oh, I scanned this area. There's a life form over there.
Yeah.
Instead of, looking like we're hunting a runaway slave with our coon dog and then a whole bunch of Jedi running after him.
Yeah.
With the bag that it's
with the bag. Just.
Yeah. It was a wild, other than not being able to get together once a week and talking to my friends in the community, other than that, but like, I'm kind of glad it's over.
And Skeleton Crew is the middle of August, or is that September?
I've heard both. I really don't know. I'd have to
I don't
actually.
know. They might not have even told us until D23. When is the release of Skeleton Crew?
Bam. Pull out the tricorder. Where is Jar Jar? That's what I want to know.
It says late 2024. So I bet you it's going to be October. Oh, no, it can't be October. Because Agatha Harkness is in October. So you can't have a Star Wars and a Marvel show running at the same time. Because you'll split your audience, apparently. Which we're all going to watch both of them anyway.
Yeah.
Well, I'm done with Star Wars. Until I come back to this, when you guys start doing Skeleton Crew, and you're like, that was really cool, then I might watch it. But I have no... If I wanted to watch Star Trek Prodigy, I'd watch Prodigy. I didn't want that show. I don't want this show.
Yeah.
Teenagers running around on a ship. Well,
I'm proud of us for sticking with it, though.
Oh, yeah, we did all 8. Yeah, that was awesome. That was very
well,
cool.
because, people keep asking me, why do you keep watching this crap? I'm like, I have hope. Maybe the next episode will be better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we've been trained through the Clone Wars and Bad Batch and, The Mandalorian and Andor that they can do stuff right. And then, and I don't know if this got caught up in COVID as well, because that's what happened to Obi-Wan and part of the Book of Boba Fett, was it got shut down so often that messed stuff up. That happened to Ahsoka as well. But I don't think this show got caught up in that.
I don't think it did, time-wise.
Yeah.
We do know that rebellions are built on hope, so you gotta keep hoping.
But I don't see anything until Andor season 2 that I'm interested in watching until I see a trailer for even The Mandalorian. I'm not interested.
Yeah.
Do you think we'll have a Solo 2 somehow? Do you think they're going to do something with that?
Not at all.
You think so?
No,
because they already canceled the Lando show. So if we were going to get a Solo 2, that would have been wrapped into the Lando show.
Dude, I think Ray Park would definitely do one of these Disney Plus things.
Oh, yeah. But we already know his whole story's already been told, basically. The only thing we don't really have a clear idea of is when he was in charge of the Black Sun or what, I can't remember what that group is called. And we do know a little bit about that because of some extra stuff that's in between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. But by then, Darth Maul's already been dead for quite a while.
Yeah.
But I would love to see an origin story, because you could easily get Palpatine back, and you could have an origin story of him going to Dathomir and having Darth Maul and teaching him. And because with the makeup, you can make either of them look as young as you want.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, look how convincing they made Saul look younger.
Yeah, they did.
They took a little bit of baby fat out of his face and put a new wig on him, and you could believe that was 15, 16 years ago.
I don't think they did a bad job on Luke either with the what do they call that? Where they put the face over the face?
Oh, the deep fake thing?
Fake, yeah, whatever that.
It wasn't too bad. There were people who did it better, and now those people work for
deep fakes. Deep fakes, yeah. Is that what you call it? Deep fakes?
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see how they use that going forward. Because he's gonna show up again.
Yeah,
he has to. You know,
How
he'll still be building the Jedi Temple at this point.
Rick, I threw it in the chat, brother. There he is.
There he is.
Rick.
Oh, there I am.
Come aboard.
See, Rick, we were right. You weren't crazy.
I'm still kind of crazy for looking forward to this every week. Like, I'm not disappointed with how it ended. I'm like calling her out as a total cock tease, though, for showing that little green guy for 1 second at the end. Like, I can officially call that a post-credit scene, I think, even though it was just like fade to black for 1 second, and then they showed this for 2 seconds. So that sucked donkey balls. And then right in the middle of the show, like 15 minutes in, they showed the main villain peeking around a corner of a wall. And then, like, that's it. They didn't show nothing else. No mention of a name. I didn't see him in the credits at all. I'm like,
because he didn't do anything or say anything. So anybody new to the show or new kind of to Disney Star Wars will have no clue who that is.
Exactly. Until Leslie Headland does an interview tomorrow and officially states whatever she has to state. But yeah, so it was cool. It was cool that happened. Yeah. It was cool that the little green guy happened at the end. There were some good battles in this episode, so I liked it as much as the episode 5 with all the battles. A little too much, I don't know.
Sisterly BS.
So I don't want to use the word gay storytelling, but yes, sisterly storytelling, just catered to woman kind of story in a way overall. It just seemed not just complete Star Warsy. It was more mystery and sister twins.
Well, like I was telling them, between me, you, and Super John, we had all this figured out after episode 2. We knew who was going to kill Saul. We knew that Saul was going to die. We figured out who the bad guy was. We figured out who the bad guy's boss was.
And I guess the big mystery was the OSHA May kind of swap at the end.
Yeah.
Which we kind of expected that a couple weeks ago too, or some people did. It was
when they started talking about them being the same person, we all really thought they were somehow the Force was going to merge them or something.
Yeah, I thought maybe in that last hug, like someone knelt into the other one. I'm like,
exactly,
something like that.
Just because, like, why not? Like, we wouldn't be like, oh, we're surprised, because we wouldn't be that surprised if that happened. But
if you go back and watch,
man, like, I do like the Stranger character. He's pretty cool. I think 110% we will see that character again. Like, so there will either be a second season or a spin-off, however you want to put it. Those actors will film more stuff, and which is cool because it's a 94-year area of story that's never been officially told to us in like live action or cartoon or storytelling form. So there's a lot of area they can tell story. So that's a good thing. Like there is definitely pluses, more pluses to the series than negatives overall. Like,
and they only have 50 years to tell a new story before we run into Palpatine and Plagueis.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. Which
is still a ton of time.
Right. And they introduced that character, like, so it could lead to,
because honestly, if you think about it,
story, right?
Didn't this whole series take place in about a week, except for the flashbacks?
I think that's pretty accurate. Although what I did notice in this episode is OSHA now had like red tips in her hair. She never had red tips in her hair the whole series. And then May, cut her own hair, because May had the red hair, and it left red tips. So I don't know if that's just and
then of course
actually messed up filming that. I didn't realize that
OSHA changed into a black uniform, and May turned into a white uniform.
Yeah, no, but May's hair, May never had red hair, or sorry, OSHA never had red hair at all. Like just black and brown hair. That was they both had like the dreadlocks or whatever, the braids, but May, what made her different was a tattoo, and she had red hair. Like from like here down, her hair was blood red, and then when she cut it, it was just the tips. But OSHA never had red hair, like unless between episode 7 and this one, she wouldn't dip him in the red dye or something. So that
when she was on the planet at the healthcare place, having a sauna and a wash and everything. With
I'm saying that because I watched every episode, so I noticed certain things. Like she's an attractive woman, and I noticed how she looks and what she's wearing, and if her booty looks good or not. Like I don't not notice those things.
Rick, do me a favor, give me a 1 out of 10, 1 through 10 for this season.
For the whole series?
Yeah, this whole
series. Let's. I don't know. 2 episodes were bangers.
Yeah.
1 episode was like the opposite of a banger. It was like a buzzkill.
Yeah, it's like a buzzkill.
Owner breaker. But I don't know, a 5.5.
Okay, that's about where everybody's
been worse. There's been more than one series that they've made that have been worse than this, I think. And overall, like I think a lot of fans, whether it's my age group or younger age group, I think a majority of them wanted some, including all of you guys here in the panel, wanted some new Star Wars that was not directly involved with the Skywalker family and what we know in that series of 9 movies, right?
What I'm mad about is
we literally got that, and yet people still complained about other stuff. Like
that's because we were lied to from the beginning. When this series was told to us, we were told it was going to be an examination of the Sith and how the Sith Acolyte dynamic worked in Star Wars during the end of the High Republic. That's what we were told. That's not what we got at all.
We got more Jedi stuff than we got Sithy stuff.
Yeah. We what we got is the Jedi are once again evil, horrible people who will cover things up because they feel it's best, because they're afraid of the Senate for some reason. What's the Senate going to be able to do? Nothing.
They're going to vote.
They're going to vote.
Show us our power and vote. Democracy.
Like
for space.
Do what? You can't dissolve the Jedi Order.
How do you put borders in space? Like
they don't even have a military, so there's not even a way for them to get the Jedi out of the temples.
Yeah, who's going to stop them, right?
If the Jedi wanted to, they could just take over, and that is a fear in some of the ending High Republic books. Is that there are some people from the Outer Rim and stuff who have to deal with some of the jerks in there, that the Jedi are just too powerful, and that they don't need to be that powerful.
And because I came into your guys' show late, I heard a little bit of what Chris was talking about. And yes, if you're making a Star Wars show, put in frickin' robots and astromechs and aliens and the kind of beasts that they ride. And they gave us, they did give us some Wookiee action, and there was some funny looking speeder bikes, and there were some cool ships. Like we got to see a twin pod Sith car ship today. That was they were like in different parts of the ship, which I thought was different. It was a new thing. Like it was.
Why do the Sith always make their ships with some sort of ball in the center?
Yeah, good point.
Always. The Empire, them, the First Order,
TIE fighters, all that stuff. They all have.
As cool as that little Pip droid was, it's cool. It's cute. It was not definitely a character in the end, and so that took away from there being any robot type character at all whatsoever. Like there's been 8 episodes. I don't recall seeing another droid in the series, like even like roll by or walk by. Like
there was a Gonk droid in the like first. I don't know.
Yeah, when Osha was a mech, a little Gonk walked by. Yeah, so that's
that was it.
That was cool.
Security,
but I mean,
the security droid with the 3PO body on the prison ship.
That Lobot was cool.
That Lobot was the coolest thing in the whole show.
Yeah.
Well, Rick, what about tonight's episode, bro? What do you give tonight's episode?
But I don't know. The episode, I'm gonna give this episode a 7.
Yeah, there we go.
Wasn't as cool as 5 because it wasn't just a long battle. Had a couple of great battles. A little bit Matrixy, rope walking, Feng Chu kind of stuff going on, but that was cool. They're both
kind of dig that.
Men of Asian descent, so why would that not be part of their?
The green chick should have definitely fought Khmer.
Korean guy and a Filipino guy kicking and sword fighting. That was pretty cool. And I think part of it, what makes it cool, is Saul had that long hair, like that's badass when you're sword fighting and your hair is flowing.
I don't know about you, Rick, but it made me want more sword. It made me want more Sword Sunday. That's what made me want.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And then later on, when all the Jedi showed up with the Green Lady boss, they all got weird ponytail man bun things. Like all of them. I'm like, what are they all? Like, they have a fashion they have to follow. Like they have to have these 4 little ponytails.
There were a lot of man buns in this show.
Little gold ribbons on them. I thought that was kind of
really nice beards, but there were way too many man buns.
But Saul could let his hair flow. He didn't need to wear any ponytails.
Who's your favorite character out of this whole series?
I like the Stranger. By far, I like the Stranger. I'm really appreciative of the actor who played Saul. Like again, like I think
Yeah.
he did great. There might have been parts where it was like, whoa, that's not the best acting I've ever seen. But give the dude credit, man, for learning
Oh, yeah.
English to make 8 hours of English
Oh, yeah.
television.
I agree.
But I'm
I
sure
agree.
he'll probably get to do the voiceover for Korean audiences overseas and stuff. Like I wouldn't doubt that's
That'd be cool.
part
Yeah,
of
that'd
his
be cool.
part of his work. But yeah, he was badass. I thought the casting was pretty cool. Jackie became a badass when we saw her fight.
I was not expecting that at all.
I really liked
She
her
was
character.
awesome. Yeah.
And I liked Kelnaka before we saw him. I'm a Wookiee lover.
Yeah.
Put a sword in his hand too. Come on, man.
Well, and we never really got a clear answer of how he died.
He took the claws out. Right? That was they say it's very rare for a Wookiee to to get the claws out, and that's how he got that guy's face was some Wookiee claws. And
yeah.
How did he die? Well, I think that all those witch ladies, like all the power of many, were all like controlling him, like using.
No. I mean, how did he die?
Because
he died with a lightsaber.
Mama Witch was dead, so the only ones left were all these other ladies that weren't the mama.
He means how did he die in his house?
Yeah, but he can't.
He died in his house.
I think they died. I don't think that.
No, he died. He died in his chair.
Yeah, he died because she.
So did
like drove the
Quirrell or whatever kind of break off from the group in episode 4 and go kill him? I would have liked to have seen just a small battle between the two of them. That would have been
how he took the blade. Yeah, for sure. Like
we definitely should have got Wookiee versus Stranger.
Someone said that director of that episode said, "Oh, we had planned on that scene, but due to budget or whatever, we couldn't film that scene." That's
you already had the costume. What budget?
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it would have had to be a wicked fight though, so it takes that into consideration. Like they had episode 5 was all fight. So so that took a lot of practicing by the cast and the crew and then eventually the filming and special effects. So that took a lot of the budget. This episode 2 had some more fight scenes, but I'm sure when they train for these fight scenes, they train for them all on the same day or days. So it's not like a whole new 3 months of retraining. But there wasn't a lot of special effects overall in the whole series. Right. Nice little space chase today.
I like that a lot. Where they were going through the ring around the planet. That was awesome.
We didn't see lots of space chases, but we did. Yeah. We knew there was one coming from all the trailers.
Yeah,
but I dug it, man. Like I'll definitely give this episode another watch tonight, since I don't see anything else I plan on watching, and turn the subtitles on and see if I missed a word here or there. But parts of it were slow. Like
and then they put that stupid song over the end credits.
They did, but it was a little different though. It got a little heavier and harder near the end of the credits because I watched to see if there was a little snippet at the end or if they gave credit to Plagueis or Yoda, and I didn't see it.
But I think Zombie Hunter's right. I think if I'd watched the first 2 episodes and Saul hadn't been in it, I don't think I would have come back at all.
I definitely think he was the soul of the show. I do.
Oh, good point.
He carried the whole thing.
Yeah, he was
even
awesome.
if we
there's going to be
in advance, he was going to be one of the actors in it. If he wasn't in it, I think it would have made a big difference in the show. Like I said, Jackie was cool, but only when she got to fighting. That made her cool to me, badass. The Stranger was cool even before he became a stranger, just because he's a little funny, quirky guy, mixing the potions or whatever he's doing, making jokes. What, he's with you, making a little silly jokes, and then he became, the guy behind the mask and stuff. So I did like him, man. And he's fucking Canadian, so good. Give him bonus points for that.
The guy behind the mask in front of the guy in the cave.
In the cave, in the cove.
Yeah. No sleeveless fighting tonight. He kept his robe on the whole fight.
What do you guys think when OSHA put the helmet on and couldn't take it off? You guys think it was a pretty cool scene?
That was pretty messed up, man.
I thought that was pretty deep, man. And then, like, when it came off and she had those, like, golden-looking eyes and just all that put together looked very cool. I thought it looked very
well, and Stranger guy had the black eyes. So
I was asking that earlier.
He was trying to help her.
Was she doing that with her? She was kind of going
I think she
Yeah.
went
You know,
deep.
she was losing
If you-
her shit in that helmet, and
Yeah, I
she
think it-
projected that power on.
The
I think
helmet
like on the Last
felt
Jedi
her.
when Rey went too deep.
The helmet could
You
not
remember that?
block her minds from reaching out, which is what that helmet was supposed to be about, not blocking stuff, but it couldn't block her power from getting out.
And it
To
read
confront
her true power.
Yeah, of the dark
Didn't
side. Yeah, that's
read
what I was going to say.
OSHA
Because her
as
power is a lot
herself.
different than the stranger's power, right? Like,
Yeah.
it was what I'm
Yeah, because it
getting out
jacked
of
her
it.
up. It jacked
The
her
turn
world
people's
up.
eyes
That
black
was
power,
wild.
we'll call it. You know,
Yeah.
because the Emperor couldn't do that. Couldn't make
Mhm.
people's eyes turn black.
That was tight.
No one that we've seen except witches.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The Ahsoka witches, you know, they did zombie magic, green smoke. These witches had black smoke. So it's
Mhm.
what color smoke is next? You know, ooh, blue
Yeah.
smoke, purple smoke. That'd be cool. It'd be
Orange
badass.
smoke, baby.
Did you
It'll be
guys like?
interesting
Did you
when
guys?
we get to Ahsoka season 2, because they didn't kill all the Dathomir witches, so it'll be interesting to see when these witches meet the original witches, what happens. Do they, you know, because in the Clone Wars we were told they were all killed, but there's some ancillary stuff that says several of them got away, and we're trying to build new covenants.
So the one thing I do miss about that show, or I guess have a part of it to look forward to, is like armies. We'll see an army again, like with Thrawn and stormtroopers.
Okay, yeah.
Maybe zombies or
That
in
is cool. The
red
zombie
duct tape or not. They have an
people
army,
and
and we haven't seen no army battles in this. Like so, Andor for more army coming up soon, because I don't think Skeleton Crew will have much. Although it takes place in the Mandoverse, and there is Imperial forces of some type. So,
But according to the plot of the show, it's Voyager, and they're like away. They're not actually part of our area, which doesn't make sense. I mean, we know the entire galaxy that Star Wars is in. How can you get lost unless you're unless you go over to where?
Unless you're eaten by a whale.
Yeah, unless you're taken over, you know, and you're warped out, then maybe. But
so spice.
They have a really bad map.
Those kids all get addicted to spice.
Yeah.
So the lightsaber.
That's okay. We were taught in whatever this show or whatever that spice is okay.
Yeah, spice cream.
Spice.
So the
cream.
lightsaber scene going from blue to red, was that
That
a
was
cringe
different.
moment for you guys, or was that a cool moment for you guys?
No, that's just how those. Yeah, when I saw that change, I was like, oh, she's bleeding. She's bleeding the crystal.
That's the first time we've seen it.
It is the first
live
time we've
action like
seen that in TV and film, so it was
And,
pretty cool looking.
I thought it was cool. I thought it was
Yeah,
cool. I
they
didn't
talked
know
about it a lot in several books and several of the comics. How you had to bleed the crystal when Vader
When you
lost his
kill a
saber
Jedi.
and had to build a new saber. He had to re-bleed his crystal.
Yeah, it was cool. She kind of did it in her hand, even when it wasn't.
That was cool.
Like
I thought it was
turned
cool.
on, you could just kind of see that little quick scene where.
Yeah, that
they
was a
went
nice
from blue to
little
red.
touch. I enjoyed it.
Okay.
I
Well,
like
and it'll
it.
make-
Call it
I knew Saul
corrupting
was
it,
getting
but-
it like an.
It'll make all the newbies be like, "What? How she do that?"
I just
I was
didn't
wondering
think
when I
they'd
seen
wait
it,
till
I
near
thought it was
the end
cool,
of the
but I'm like-
episode to kill Saul, though.
I'm like, I wonder if people are thinking cringe or if they're thinking this is actually cool, being it's the first time we've seen this in a live action. But I thought it was cool. I thought it was very
Yeah, I
cool.
agree with Chris. For those of us who knew what it was kind of neat to finally see
Yeah.
it, and it did happen quite a bit quicker than we've heard or read about it before. But that could just be attributed to OSHA's,
Whatever
massive
she
amount
is.
of power.
Yeah.
Maybe you can just do it.
Because
dive
you
into
saw
it deeper.
May was looking at her, just kind of freaked out a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
That it
Yeah,
was changing.
yeah.
How?
Yeah.
Well,
Because
in
she
May, I don't
seemed
think
weak.
May ever really figured out how she was going to kill a Jedi without using a weapon, and then bam, OSHA does it straight up.
Well,
Put Vader on her.
And again, what was the point of that?
She wasn't sorry about it.
I think she was pissed.
She was not.
Why did she
did
need
not
to kill a
regret doing
Jedi
that.
without a weapon?
I don't think
it
she
was-
did it.
I-
I don't think.
She
I
just
think
wanted
she
him to
just.
shut up.
I think she just killed him. I don't think she was
No,
thinking
no,
without.
what Chris is asking
No,
is
no, I
why-
mean May. At
Yeah,
the
he's
beginning of the
asking
show,
why.
May's like, and
Yeah.
Smiley's like, "You have to kill them without a weapon."
I think
But I
that's
have these
supposed
little
to be
throwing daggers.
right. I think that's
Yeah, that was
supposed to
still-
be
yeah,
a
that-
way to get her to tap into the power that and I don't think Khmer knew the power, but Plagueis knows that there's potential there, and that was the action to get her to tap into that, to be able to summon that force choke or whatever. I'm sure there could be other ways of doing it, but I think that, and I might be giving the people who wrote this too much credit, but that would, to me, make the only sense. You know, we have to get this person. She has a lot of potential. We can use her, but we have to get her to tap into it.
And Osha did
which
it
May
naturally.
couldn't do.
Right.
Force
And
choke.
Osha did it naturally.
We've only
basically.
really seen Vader / Anakin do that move. Really,
Yeah.
like
Luke did it. Luke was like, choke, throw Gamorrean guards around.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I guess he gave a quick
True,
choke.
yeah, that's true.
Not
Mhm.
like to death or like like.
But
yeah, not the.
Well, did that Gamorrean guard die, or did he just?
No, he just
Slobbered a bit.
Yeah.
Well,
If we do move into a series 2, does Plagueis turn Smiley against her or her against Smiley? Because we know Plagueis can't die,
right?
Because Palpatine kills him.
Mm-hmm.
So those two have to die soon in the next at least next couple series.
Mm-hmm.
If they're smart enough to do a time jump, with Disney hates time jumps.
I don't think they're time jumping too much from this story. Like they're gonna milk this.
Well, they jumped from the event to 16 years later. But I mean, like,
maybe this show, maybe
a
they
4-year block where
maybe
Osha's been training with Smiley for like 3 years or something.
Yeah, maybe we do get that kind of a jump, but not
Well,
like
I did read somewhere, Chris, and you can correct me, but I'm pretty sure like Andor season 2 is supposed to be 5 years later from the last episode, and then the season is supposed to jump
a year
quite
every
a few.
episode.
Is it a year? Yeah, that's what I heard.
That's what they'd said. There was going to be some jumps so that we could get right to Rogue One.
Rogue One.
And of course, the Book of Boba Fett has a couple time jumps that they don't specifically say.
Mm-hmm.
There's 3 years between season 1 and 2, and 3 and 4.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because the Mando overlap.
Because you have the Mando overlap, and then you have that Grogu was with Luke for almost 3 years, and not a very good teacher because look what he can do, fucking Muppet.
Yeah, he can barely get the frogs out of the.
Yeah, he can't even jump on lily pads.
I don't think they did a very good job explaining that either, because it was. I didn't understand that. That's how long he was supposed to be there.
Filoni said it because they were like, "Well, he just dumped the kid off like a week ago."
Mm-hmm.
Filoni's like, "No, it's been a couple years, and people are like, you should say that then."
Right. Well, maybe he did just say it, and it wasn't very thought out. Because, like you said, in 3 years, you think he would be doing a little bit more cool stuff.
I will go to my grave thinking that Grogu was never supposed to be a continuing character in The Mandalorian.
Yeah,
I think he was supposed to disappear or die in season 1
as a bad guy
and not go anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was a good point. I didn't catch why the Beaver was trying to sabotage.
I don't think anybody understood that.
Yeah. Maybe you could smell the.
Well, and why did Pip change sides?
Well, she Control-Alt-deleted Pip.
Well, then why did she care? She's like, I got it, Pip, whatever. It's like suddenly she cared about this tricorder.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
that's what I was saying earlier.
Here's my new left coast theory.
Yeah.
That little toy has all the Death Star.
Rick's got a crazy theory. Rick's got a crazy theory.
How the witches created OSHA with all their machinery, all those plans are inside Pip somehow. Why not? Like,
well, she did plug him into the mine, so Pip has whatever information was in the mine. But
I don't know. Droids play an integral part of Star Wars storytelling.
1 1/4 droids.
They used to.
I'm a waste. Like I think I said that earlier. It's a waste of a droid. Like, come on, man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I get it. They were doing a lot more outside stuff, and outside droids are hard unless they have legs.
That toy will not sell well in toy stores.
No.
The show is not
going anywhere.
That's like
Grogu. It's not
ain't
no Grogu selling toy.
They better not bring out stuffed versions of that stupid beaver either, because nobody's going to buy it.
Well,
I mean, poor Hasbro. Everybody on the show is dead.
Yeah, but
Except-
those figures are sold out in all my stores.
I've never seen them here. They haven't even shown up here yet.
Yeah, I've been busy working and I haven't been able to look at any stores. But the only chance Black Series has, or TVC, is Fat Lobot.
Fat Lobot it is.
Fat
I think we
Lobot,
need to make
the
a
figure.
custom.
They do need
I think we need a
Kelnaka
custom line.
and the Stranger to start.
Yeah.
Then that's
Stranger's
probably
good.
it. They don't need any other ones. They don't need the Green Lady, in my opinion.
Oh, they'll push.
Well, she's the only one alive, so they'll take her and keep her. They'll keep.
She is the only one alive, so yeah, it's guaranteed she's getting.
Honestly, it would be a cool looking Black Series figures if they did the mom.
Mm-hmm.
She had a very cool costume.
Yeah.
And
And if they took a little advice from Marvel Legends, she could have some cool black smoke.
Some smoke.
You know, thing that
or have her like Agatha.
Kind of a cool character.
Agatha figure that has the kind of smoky ring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really don't like. I saw the wave in my GameStop. Like they opened up the case, put them up. I looked down, I'm like, yeah, they're cool. I don't want them.
You know what me and Bert are going to say.
And then
I'll wait for Ross.
They were gone. They were gone the next day. Saul looks pretty good. I like that.
Yeah, I had to have him. He looks great.
The Saul and the Jackie from that first wave are definitely.
She looked cool too. Yeah,
I'm gonna have to get those because I did enjoy those characters, and then
Same here.
the rest of them, the other Jedi's will at least make good fodder for custom.
Oh yeah,
because most of them all are wearing gloves, so you don't have to worry about.
Yeah.
I'll show you guys real quick.
I'm not going to cancel my Acolyte retros. I'm still going to get them.
Right, exactly.
They have some really cool like gauntlets on their arms.
Yeah, Saul's looks like he's got.
Saul's
some
does,
cool.
yeah.
Yeah, the High Republic uniforms are really nice.
Yeah, they are cool. I do like somebody didn't like the white and gold, the dress uniforms, but I thought they were pretty cool looking.
They look good when they got the brown robe over top of them.
Yeah.
Like
People were complaining. I'm like, well, these robes have been out for like 5 years now, and they're even part of the kids that first Jedi show.
Mm-hmm.
The Jedi all wear that outfit because it's in that time period.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like,
it comes a soft
the boat on complaining.
Yeah, the robe looks good too. They don't always make a good looking. It doesn't drape.
Yeah, the seam is
those
weird.
ones look like they do pretty good. Will we get a repacked Yoda on an Acolyte card?
Nah, we didn't see
enough.
enough.
Yoda a little bit of hair. I mean, it's been 100 years before. They could have given him a little bit of hair,
Well, why was he still wearing his burlap bag?
Mm-hmm.
We
know from the High Republic books he's in the High Republic outfit.
It looked like our Yoda, like our puppet, and like they unburied the puppet and put it the back of the head, like so that was really badass. Like it really was. Like that was probably the most badass.
They did that with Last Jedi. They did that with Last Jedi.
I just wanted to hear a breath, like a
yeah
or something, and they didn't even do that. Like
so now do we have Mace Windu saying, I don't think the Sith could have come back without, and Yoda's sitting there going, no. Oh fuck! Do I tell them?
Do I tell them?
Yeah,
is the whole plot? It seems like Disney does kind of want to make the Jedi out to be not as cool as we all want them to be.
Well, I mean,
are they going to include Yoda in that?
That's cool.
Are they going to make Yoda?
The Jedi are good.
Yeah, the Jedi.
Star Wars was always black and white. The Jedi were good. The Empire was bad.
Mm-hmm.
Now people make mistakes here and there, but now it seems Disney wants to turn them into like the Catholic Church or something.
Yeah,
no, but
you got Jedi fawning over little girls.
Good and the bad when it comes to like armies and battling. Like if you're on the
that's
other,
not Star Wars.
No, but in any storytelling or even real life, like if it's Ukraine versus Russia, like sorry to use that example, if you are a Ukrainian person that lives in Ukraine, you're the good guys. If you're a Russian guy living in Russia, then they are the bad guys. Like so, it's
no matter what side you're on,
it
you always
depends on
think
which
you're
side
right.
you are. So if you're
that's not Star
a
Wars.
stranger, then
That's
the
not
Jedi's
Star
are the
Wars
bad guys.
It's not Star Wars
47
except
years.
for possibly the
point of view.
prequels and the Senate, and when the government comes in, like then, because that was kind of the whole idea of the prequels, right? Is you think, well, wait a minute, the separatists
were
are just fighting
deliberately
for a
set up
free and
to
independent
be
galaxy. Why would we be against that? You know,
the rise of
democracy,
Hitler, the rise of Napoleon. That's what the prequels were about, and it was about how the rise of, say, the Confederacy. How does that happen if you're supposedly in this peaceful world? Well, look at the size of the Senate. Nothing ever gets done. And hell, we have 50 senators and 435 representatives, and we can't get anything done here.
Can't get shit done. Yeah,
Can't get shit done. And some of the ancillary books talk about how Count Dooku kind of got turned and how the Trade Federation didn't like a whole bunch of the stuff going on, and so they just started making these. The banking clan was like, no, that you can't tell us we can't do this stuff, you know. And then you have the whole secession movement thing, but you know, you don't. Star Wars has never been. I mean, George obviously doesn't like it. He said it as much recently. That he doesn't like that they're doing this, but he says it's not mine anymore. I can't do anything about it.
Right.
You know, and I'm okay with some gray stuff. Like I'm okay with Ahsoka being not a Jedi, but still a Force user.
Yeah,
I'm okay with that.
I'm okay if she dies.
Ahsoka doesn't die until at least
and again
just before Episode 7, because we already have her through the media all the way up until that point.
Just as long as she dies and it's a good.
Well, they're all dead.
Violent death.
Every single Jedi is dead. So good for them. They're all dead now. You know, Anakin's dead.
Well, except for Rey Skywalker.
Rey is the only living Jedi, and Broom Boy.
Jedi.
Blasphemy.
And I still don't have a Broom Boy figure
until there's another. Have you seen that? That dude's like 35 now. He's like a totally handsome, grown-up man.
Yeah, he's
that's how long ago.
Grown college kid.
Yeah, he's a man. He probably has grandchildren.
So they were showing some of the kids and stuff from when they were the anniversary of Phantom Menace came up.
Yes.
They're all like, "Oh yeah, blah blah blah," and it's like, "Yeah, look at the Harry Potter kids. That was only 20 years ago, and they all have married, they have kids. You know, I show my kids Potter, and I'm like, oh, God damn you, fuck you kids."
Yeah, I have to remind myself daily that 30 years ago was not 1968. Every day I have to tell myself that. I go,
every day.
30 years ago was not 1968. And then I go, God damn, really? Shit. You know?
Lack's a time traveler.
It's so strange.
Well, and not to move this into a political thing, but when people were talking about the assassination trip on Trump, a couple of them made the mistake of, like, when Reagan was shot was back in 81, and they were like, you know, this hasn't happened in like 25 years.
So longer than that.
No, actually, it's been like 40 something.
Yeah, it's like 40 years.
Yeah, but that Reagan thing was real. That actually happened.
Say that again, Rick. I didn't hear you.
What happened to Reagan was real, though.
You think it's possible Darth Plagueis has nothing at all to do with the story? He just felt something in the force.
I don't
when
like political at all either, but that was all 100% complete fake crap. All of it. Anyone that thinks that was real, I'm sorry, man.
Don't ever say anything like that again, Rick.
It's true, man. That's my.
There are dead people on the fucking ground.
You think
were they part of the thing? Were they part of the fake?
That people got hurt or injured on his plan to do stuff. That's how
so
bad.
It can't be fake and real at the same time, Rick.
Sure, it can be.
No,
it can be fake. It can be set up. It can be acting.
A 20-year-old from that vantage point, who hadn't even had a gun, didn't even own it. It was his father's gun. He made those precise shots, sort of, by just clipping Trump's ear.
Did he?
Yes.
Did anything touch Trump's ear at all? Have you
seen
photos of injuries?
Yes, there's photos. There's video.
Yeah, no, I saw him golfing on Saturday without a bandage.
Yeah.
And yesterday he had a bandage.
It clipped his ear. It took a chunk out of his ear because he happened to turn his head when one bullet hit him in the side.
That was all a staged phony baloney.
Oh, I'm done with this. No, I'm done. Fuck you. Fuck you. If you no. Bye, Rick.
I didn't do it, man. Fuck.
Acolyte season 2. What do you guys think? Think we'll get one?
If we get a season 2, and there's, are we going to see Plagueis and Yoda? And that could be cool.
That would be so cool. Even if there's not a fight, even if there's just some kind of altercation,
even if it's just Plagueis like sitting on a throne, talking like Snoke, it would be kind of cool.
It would be very cool.
I'm always hesitant with Disney because they don't need to follow the rules and they don't need to follow the story that we all grew up knowing and loving. So could they turn Yoda into a
gotta be some rules.
Well, I mean, yes, but maybe, that's coming from people who love it and have been growing up with it for 45 years, you know? And so if they go into the Darth Plagueis, if they go into Yoda, are they going to make Yoda into like the green chick who's going to help with the covering up, and we're all going to look at Yoda a different way? So that's the only thing I'm ever hesitant about. People always ask me, and like even Rick, right? Like hashtag bring back Lack. And like that's a cool thing to say. And I'm sorry Lack is gone, but do I want Disney to make Lack into a they with pink, with pink and purple dyed hair? And like who knows what they're gonna do. So sometimes there's some shit that they should just leave alone. And when they start getting into Yoda, that's gonna be some tricky stuff.
Like, I remember him. Like, so she sensed the stranger.
Oh, she knows him.
Was able to. He's like, "Oh my god, put my helmet on."
Yeah, he puts a helmet back on.
And then he mentioned, former pupil. So that part got kind of confirmed too. That he at one time was a I'm gonna say Padawan because that's what pupils are to Jedi people.
Yeah. Maybe season 2 is a bulk flashback of Green Chick and Kamir.
I never even thought about how much flashback stuff they could do again. More flashback episodes.
Why not just tell it in chronological order? Whatever happened to that? Like everybody.
I thought the flashbacks were so far have been, I think, hated by others, but I liked them in the Book of Boba Fett because we got to see him becoming Tusken Raider.
Well, they were done much better.
We didn't get that in chronological order. We got it in the flashback.
This group of Disney writers and directors and producers, they're not old enough to have seen decent films. They don't, but they were told, hey, Quentin Tarantino revolutionized the filmmaking industry by doing flashbacks. And they said, oh, fuck, we'll do that too. Without actually watching them, understanding how it's done well. That's what they're doing. It's a hey, I heard that this guy was real successful doing it and revolutionized the whole thing. Let's us do that too, so we can be revolutionary. Well, 35 years later, trying to copy it is not a revolutionary.
Well, I think also with George doing his episode 1, 2, and 3, because I remember the original movies back in the day, they weren't 4, 5, and 6. They were Star Wars: A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, Star Wars. There was no New Hope until.
It worked out pretty good for him, though, right?
It did. I feel like George might open that Pulp Fiction door also, where he's like, hey, prequel, let's tell the story of the story, Well,
I thought he always wanted to do. I thought he always had 1, 2, and 3 written, but then somewhere in the, like Spielberg and all his buddies, they said, look, you need to can these ones. You need to do these episodes
so
first.
I've heard that too, and I've heard that same thing too. But if you look at that Ralph McCoy artwork, oh yeah, there we go. If you look at that Ralph McCoy artwork that they had before Star Wars came out, I believe Luke was a girl, and she had like the oxygen mask thing on her face. There's a lot of different things and then I also heard that one of the Jedis that he wanted to use in the beginning was a Mace Windu, was one of the names that he wanted to use. So I don't know if he really had the whole prequel story wrote out.
Well, he had a bulk of. He did definitely have a bulk of those characters brainstormed.
I like the Mace name because Mace Tawani was the young kid in the Ewok Adventures.
The first Mace.
So he had that name before Mace Windu. He stole it and used it again.
Well, yeah, they said, man, Mesa was a really good name. I can't believe we wasted it on that whiny kid. And look, I did like the Ewok movies. I thought
They're fun. They're fun.
The first one with the Gorax. I thought that was cool stuff.
They all
man.
have their part. They all
The
have their
woodcutter Ewok with the one eye, the real badass Lack Sivrak Ewok. Like, man, he was cool, man. That was a cool movie, you know. And when I was a kid, like that was definitely one. You didn't get to see it much, you know. But you know, Princess Bride, the original Willow, and the Gorax and the Ewok movie was like, other than John Wayne, that's all I ever saw when I was a kid. That was the only VHSs we owned, you know.
Yeah.
But I don't think those movies. A lot of people talk real bad about them, but like they were fun. You know, and I think they're still fun. And then the second one, and I can't remember, but you know, the second Ewok film, that's when we first saw Blurg. Like all the Mando people who are like younger than us, like I tell them, I say, you know, Blurg's come from the Ewoks movie, right?
Yeah.
They go, no, really? There's no way that something I love so much.
And it was kind of like stop motion puppetry by Phil Tippett too.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it was really cool.
Old
And
school.
then that chick, I can't remember her name, but the chick who turned into the Raven was supposed to be a witch, a
Like a witch,
Dathomirian witch. You know, and so like I think that's really cool to be able to say, you know, Kybo Ren Cha and Kylo Ren.
Kylo Ren, yeah.
You know, and like that's what separates the hay from the grass is, you know, knowing that the Blurg came from an Ewoks movie. You know?
Pretty cool.
Crazy.
Well, fellas, I gotta wake up early tomorrow morning.
I do too. Man, this
fun,
working shit's for the birds, man.
Man, who wants to do that?
Awful.
I do.
It is.
I try to do it as little as I'm out here in Cape Canaveral, Florida, where it's 9,000 degrees, and I'm like 8 hours closer to the equator from where I live.
The equator out your window, right?
Oh my gosh! And man, I've never been this far south, and it makes it's a big. Look at my lovely George Hamilton tan I got. I mean, dude, it is rough on old Lackey baby. I'll tell you what.
The older you get, man, that heat gets rough. It really
Holy shit! But we're gonna. If you don't hear from me in a couple days, I didn't make it.
Sun got you.
I appreciate you guys, Rick. I appreciate you stopping by. I appreciate Chris Thousand Ghost stopping by. I appreciate Brett, Gary's Grails, all you guys. Love you all.
Yeah.
Appreciate you all. Thanks, man. Thanks for hanging out.
It's definitely the most fun part of my week. We will have to do, like you said earlier, Ed, at some point, like we should do the sequel rewatches.
Oh, I'd love to do that.
Those like this is the best part of the community when people get together.
Like, I'd like to explore the sequels one more time because the sequels have gotten a lot of hate.
I've never rewatched them.
There's some cool things. There's some cool things in the sequels that we may have forgot about. You know what I mean? I'd like to maybe.
Yeah, I've never rewatched them, so it would be fun to do
one
that.
last time.
Yeah, there we go.
One last time.
All right, guys. Well, have a good night. Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
All right. Love you, Ed. Good to see you, my friend.
Love you all, man. Thank you.
Smoke them if you got them, my friend.
I'm about to.
I know you are.
Everybody, thanks for watching. Until next time, have fun collecting. Rebels no rules.
Rebels no rules.
See you guys. Thank you.
Take it easy.
You guys too.